Welcome back to the Purple Political Breakdown. How's it going? How's your day been? In today's episode, I'm going to be breaking down the immigration policies of Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. If you guys enjoy this episode, of course, you guys rate the podcast 5 stars. And if you want to contact me directly, go to my website, www.purplepoliticalbreakdown.com. The reason why I'm doing this, I already did this in terms of foreign policy, in terms of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. But I think this is important because people have kind of blanketed beliefs without really knowing what either did, right? And I think it kind of clouds certain people's opinions. And I think if you have an opinion in favor of Trump or Biden, it should be based on what they actually did versus what they are telling you or someone else is telling you they did, right? So I'm going to kind of break down everything. I'm going to go one by one. So I'm going to start off with Donald Trump. I'll go through everything, and then I'll go to Joe Biden. So let's dive right into it. Of course, first things first, one of the things that Donald Trump advocated for is birthright citizenship. I'm going to point out, just because someone advocates for this policy doesn't necessarily mean that it was put into action due to a variety of reasons, but these are definitely things that he is an advocate for, and I doubt anything really has changed with his upcoming presidency. Birthright citizenship, something that Vivek also said, is he believes that illegal aliens, babies born in the U.S. can't be citizens. I know a lot of people, not a lot, I know some people who are really anti-immigration are going to go, oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, at this point, if they're born here, it's a baby, right? I think what is crazy for me is that the same people who are on the far right or on the right in general who don't like this will be the same people that understands the importance of a life of a baby, right? Due to something like abortion, right? So I feel like people don't have the same type of humanity towards a baby that's an illegal alien, right? If this illegal alien was born in the United States, in that situation, I mean, they can't control when they were born. They were born here. I don't know how they're not a citizen. They're going to grow up here, right? And also, something I want to point out as well is a potential hypothetical question for those people who are anti birthright citizenship. For you people, if a illegal alien came into the country and a baby is about to be born and they had an abortion in the country, should they follow the laws of the country at that point and it be illegal for them to have an abortion? I mean, I feel like it shouldn't matter regardless, but I wonder if you would keep the same energy. I'm just curious. Next is regarding the RAISE Act. The RAISE Act seeks to reduce levels of legal immigration to the United States by 50% by having the number of green cards issued. The bill would also impose a cap of 50,000 refugee admissions a year and would end the visa diversity lottery. So I had a conversation before when it comes down to immigration, and the conversation we had was that, okay, I understand not wanting illegal immigration. I'm 100% for it. I also do not advocate for illegal immigration in the United States. But an act like this is not attacking illegal immigration. It's attacking immigration, period. So at that point, it's not a, I want to protect our country type feel. It's a, I don't want other people in my country. And I don't think that meets the spirit of the United States. I'm going to give you the acts, but I'm going to give you this is my opinion regarding this act, of course. But if you agree with it, fine. I'm just going to disagree with you agreeing with it. I'm going to be very clear on my opinions regarding it because that's where the conversation should be had. And that's what the law is. If you agree with it, if you are anti-immigration, then that would be right up your alley, of course. Next is Kate's Law. The bill that increases the maximum prison term for people who have previously been deported and re-enter the United States after being committed a particular type of crime. A maximum prison term is the amount of time for which individual can be charged with a crime. Kate's Law applies regardless of the circumstance or the nature of the people's prior offense or the person's reason for being in the United States. There are several other important elements of Kate's Law, which include the following detail. Kate's Law provides a 10-year sentence for terrorists who have been deported and later returned to the United States. This 10-year period is added onto in any other amount of time to which the person is sentenced. There's a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years in prison for individuals who have been convicted of illegal re-entry twice before. Additionally, individuals who are convicted 3 times will likely receive an even higher sentence. Case law provides a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years for individuals who will legally re-enter the United States after being convicted of an aggravated felony. An aggravated felony includes many different types of illegal activity. So this law was kind of implemented due to a circumstance that took place where a legal immigrant committed a crime on someone named Kate. I forget her age or anything like that, but this is kind of what inspired the law. Now I'm unsure if it got put into place as it is, but this is really focusing on really attacking illegal criminals, right? The question is whether this law goes too far, depending on the type of crime, is the biggest. Okay, am I okay with that? That's in regards to this. Another thing is Trump tried to build a wall. He only built part of the wall, didn't really build the entire wall regarding the Mexico border. He had the Muslim travel ban. Trump's immigration proposals regarding Muslim majority countries involved throughout his campaign. Initially, he called for a temporary ban on foreign Muslims entering the United States, citing concerns over terrorism. This proposal sparked controversy, with critics labeling it discriminatory. Trump later revised his stance, shifting towards a geographical ban targeting regions with a history of terrorism. This proposal aimed to enhance security measures while avoiding religious discrimination. Despite criticisms, Trump maintained his stance on stringent immigration policies, emphasizing the need for extreme vetting and suggesting deportation for individuals with extreme views or ties to terrorist organizations. Yeah, that Muslim travel ban, obviously very controversial. Also, how he treated Syrian refugees. In May 26th interview with Bill O'Reilly, Trump stated, "Look, we are at war with these people and they don't wear uniforms. This is a war against people that are vicious, violent people that we have no idea who they are, where they come from. We are allowing tens of thousands of them into our country now." Political Fact ruled this statement pants on fire, stating that the U.S. is on track to accept 100,000 refugees in 2017, but there's no evidence that tens of thousands of them are terrorists. So this is Trump's outlook in regarding the Syrian refugee crisis. Next is in regards to restrictions on asylum. On July 11, 2018, a new guidance was given to USCIS officers who interviewed asylum seekers at the U.S. borders and evaluate refugee applications. According to the guidance, asylum claims on the basis of gang-based or domestic violence are unlikely to meet the criterion of persecution on account of the applicant's membership to a particularly social group, unless the home government condones the behavior or demonstrates a complete helplessness to protect the victims. Furthermore, an applicant's illegal entry may weigh against a favorable exercise of discretion. The guidance followed an earlier reversal by Jeff Sessions on June 11, 2018, a decision by the Board of Immigration Appeals granting a battered woman asylum. Sessions has stated that the mere fact that a country may have problems effectively policing certain crimes, such as domestic violence or gang violence, or that certain populations are more likely to be victims of crime, cannot itself establish asylum claim. The domestic violence victims have been eligible for asylum since 2014. So this is Trump restricting the people who can come for asylum, right? So it definitely became more strict, where even domestic violence was really not a good enough reason. And gang violence wasn't a good enough reason. So a lot of things that Trump was doing that was very much limiting immigration just in general. And everything kind of got topped off with Title 42, which was mostly due to COVID. So Trump was given basically the full power to restrict immigration completely because of COVID in particular. So I think people give Trump a little bit too much leeway or too much grace in terms of immigration and how immigration wasn't really happening during his tenure. But during his tenure, also COVID was taking place, so it doesn't really make sense. And of course, we got the immigration and custom enforcement raids. A lot more of those were taking place, getting people and deporting them. Of course. Next, let's read off some of the things that Joe Biden did. So a lot of Joe Biden's policies and a lot of the things that he did was actually just like ending slash reversing Trump's policies. That's a lot of what his presidency was, not gonna lie. So Biden, the construction of the Mexican border was ended by Joe Biden. Apparently, I did read somewhere where he did continue building it. So I'm sure when he started, he ended it immediately. But from what I read recently, a few months ago, that he did start reconstructing certain parts of the border. Of course, he ended Trump's travel ban, the Muslim travel ban. He ended Trump's basically he reaffirmed DACA. Trump ended DACA, which was a protections for kids that came with immigrants to the United States. And by enacting it, he also urged Congress to give permanent protections for these 700,000 undocumented immigrants benefited by the policy as well. So this is something that really benefited illegal immigrant kids in particular, and Trump took it away. Biden brought it back. And he also ended Trump's enforced departure that he was enforcing certain people to leave the country, right? More so, January 21st, 2021, Biden proposed a bill that, if passed, would replace the word alien with non-citizen in the United States immigration law. On January 23rd, 2021, Biden introduced an immigration bill to Congress as the bill would give a path to citizenship to 11 million undocumented immigrants currently living in the United States. The bill will also make it easier for foreign workers to stay in the U.S. It is likely the bill will be significantly more modest as it goes through Congress. So Biden is kind of doing the opposite of what Trump was doing. Trump was making it harder for people to come into the country through immigration in general. Biden was looking to make it a little bit easier and making the process a little bit smoother. On February 7, 2021, Biden began the implementation of new guidelines for immigration and customs enforcement agents, forbidding or restricting them from seeking out deportations on the basis of drug-based crimes, less serious offenses, simple assault, DUI, money laundering, property crimes, fraud, tax crimes, solicitation, or charges without convictions, as stated by Tate Johnson, the acting director of ICE, instead of prioritizing violent behavior, well-documented gang affiliation. So the difference between Trump is like he was becoming more stringent in terms of his policies and, putting crimes against certain people depending on various crimes, more low-level crimes. Biden didn't want to deport people from these more low-level crimes, but he did want to put all the focus and energy on the violent people, the gang affiliate people, the murderers, the rapists, the traffickers. That's what Biden wanted to do with his new guidelines for the immigration and customs enforcement agents. The Biden administration issued an executive order restoring an Obama-era policy repealed by Trump that grants asylum to apprehended migrant fleeing domestic or gang violence, allowing them to stay in the United States while their case is being renewed. On March 24, 2023, President Biden and Canadian President Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, whatever his name is, announced tougher immigration policies for people traveling through the Canada-U.S. border after revising the Safe Third Country Agreement. Trudeau confirmed that the new policy would go into effect that midnight regarding the Canadian and U.S. border. Effective May 11, 2023, the Biden administration issued new restrictions on asylum seekers at the Mexican border that discourage people arriving at the border illegally. The DHS and DOJ finalizing a new rule effective after the end of Title 42 to further incentivize individuals to use lawful, safe, and orderly pathways. The rule presumes those who do not use lawful pathways to enter the United States are ineligible for asylum and allows the United States to remove individuals who do not establish a reasonable fear of persecution or torture in the country of removal. Non-citizens can rebut this presumption based on only an exceptional, compelling circumstances. So, from what it seems in this one, Biden was very clear that if you don't come to the country the right way, you're not coming to the country at all. And he put that in writing. I mean, he made that very blatant for the people. So for me, from my take, from being more purple, Biden's policies, Biden's approach definitely is more favorable in my opinion. I am not anti-immigration. I think immigration is good for the country. It continues to establish the theme of what the United States is and what the United States will be as the hallmark for the entire world, as a melting pot of all different cultures, races, and types of people, a land of opportunity. That's what the United States was built on. That's the United States will continue to be. We can't change from that aspect of what the United States is. So that's what something I appreciate. And it does seem like Biden is also taking the proper measures to ensure that different illegal means are treated what's the word treated properly, right? And that people who are like the real criminals are also treated properly. So he's making sure that we do our best to get the criminals out of here. The one thing you can argue is the asylum process as streamlined as it should be, and that's fine. You can say that, but I think it's way better than Trump's whole deal on like pushing people out, assuming they're terrorists, pushing these people out, making immigration harder and harder and harder. And then he got the get out the jail free card when COVID hit, and then he just enacted Title 42. So those are some of the Trump versus Biden policies. I mean, I said what my side on, but I also said what Trump did as well. So if you guys agree with Trump, that's fine. But at least now you know the facts. Hope you guys enjoyed, of course. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.